They tell us not to bet the preseason. They say it's for degenerates. Well, maybe it is. Who cares? Because over the last couple of years, you guys hanging out, we found edges and we'll keep doing it. We pick our spots. We tread lightly. We don't go wild, but we enjoy it. We watch some football. We try and stack the bankroll heading into week 1 of the regular season. And guess what? For 2024, we're right back to the same thing. It's August, it's preseason, and Thursday it starts in earnest with 2 games. So I'm Dave Loughy. This is some preseason football. Happy to have you guys with me. And by the way, if you haven't done so yet, hit me up on X, formerly Twitter, at Loughy_D, LOUGHY_D. Let's go. Kick it off with Lions and the Giants. Giants 3.5-point favorites at home, 34.5-point total here. Brian Daboll's 0-6 against the spread in the preseason, 3-3 straight up though. So, that 0-6 can be a little bit misleading here. Here's the thing though. He is 6-0 to the over in those games. And listen to the total scores: 56, 40, 37, 58, 47, and 44. Meanwhile, Dan Campbell 6-3 to the over through 3 preseasons. And this number for Thursday, I'm recording this on Wednesday, sits at 34.5 as I record this. And we're not going to see any starters for the Lions already. Campbell said as much, but Brian Daboll's been a bit more tight-lipped on this situation. I'll say this though. More and more teams have been viewing, and if you guys have been betting the preseason, if you've been watching my videos for the past couple of years, you already know, more teams have been using these joint practices to essentially consider them preseason games, get their reps in for the starters. And these teams just had several days of intense fight-laden joint practices. So I wouldn't expect Brian Daboll to get his starters out there. They already have a shaky offensive line as it is. So yeah, right now, my presumption is that we don't see them. But it does mean that we should see a healthy dose of Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito, who is a New York legend from last year. And Lock's been awesome in August, talking preseasons. His last 2, 2023, wasn't in 2022, but in 2021, completed 66% of his passes on decent volume, like 80-plus attempts, with a 6-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio over those 2 seasons. And then you've got DeVito, who knows that he's fighting for a roster spot, kind of a cool underdog story there. I expect him to get a lot of work. For Detroit, though, Nate Sudfeld, and then you got 2023 third-round pick Hendon Hooker, who didn't see any action, was injured last year in the preseason. They should get all the work for Detroit, neither of whom are all that inspiring here. So the way I see it, I don't love the full game here because the Giants are laying 3.5. And, once you get into the back end of these rosters, particularly a quarterback, it starts to get a little bit sketchy. You don't really know. I like taking some first half lines, and -1.5 first half, -110 on FanDuel, by the way. Preseason lines can vary pretty wildly, so pay attention to that. Give me Giants -1.5 in the first half because Drew Lock is the best quarterback that's going to be out there for sure. And even if let's say he only plays a quarter, but you get DeVito, it's not like you've got, some of the quarterbacks we're going to talk about in this next game. So give me -1.5 first half for the Giants. Also over 34.5, -110 on DraftKings. I expect this one to move up tomorrow Thursday, recording on Wednesday, as people start actually betting this game. And right now on Bet365, if you're in any of these states that you see on the screen, you're getting $150 in bonus bets just for depositing 10 and betting $5. I threw the link in the description. It's in the pinned comment as well. Click that. Takes a second to sign up. Put $5 on whatever. I bet an in-game at bat on Luis Robert for a double or triple. Actually hit it 18-1. Immediately got my 150 in bonus bets right after that at bat settled. If you're in Pennsylvania like I am, they just went live. You get 150 in bonus bets and 50 casino spins. So if you're in any of those states, you plan on betting, but you're looking to pack that bankroll full of everything you can going into the season, Bet365 is the best place to do it right now. And all you need is to put 10 in and bet 5, and you're in business. Second and final game for Thursday, Panthers and the New England Patriots. Patriots 7-point favorites, 33.5-point total here. Now listen, 7-point favorites in the preseason are pretty wild. Unless it's John Harbaugh's Ravens, where just everyone piled on, drove those numbers up because he won 21 straight preseason games or whatever it was. I know Gerard Mayo has some big shoes to fill in New England, and he said he plans on playing his starters. But 7 points, that's a lot. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I get why they're big favorites too. I mean, Bryce Young's not playing. Andy Dalton's injured, so he's not playing either. You know what that means? That means we're getting undrafted Louisville product Jack Plummer, not Jake Plummer, Jack Plummer, and practice squad quarterback Jake Luton, who got some reps last year in the preseason for Carolina and stunk. It's brutal. Even for the preseason, that's pretty rough. But going back to Mayo, who did he play under? Who did he coach under? Bill Belichick. Like, are we really going to take this guy at face value? I have trouble doing that. I'm not saying he's not going to play his starters. I think he will. There's a lot of room for improvement in New England this season, like full rebuild type of year, right? Unless they somehow land Brandon Ayuk, but that seems unlikely. And the Patriots, even if they play the starters, they have arguably the worst group of starters in football to begin with, right? We don't know what we're going to get out of Jake May. We don't know what Drake May. Sorry, we don't know what Joe Milton III is going to give us. Bailey Zappi's on the roster, but still, and a lot of their starting wide receivers aren't going to play anyway because they're hurt. So I look at this, I don't want to lay 7. If anything, honestly, I would take the 7 with Carolina, but I don't feel great there either. Give me under 33.5 points. Feels like a game where both teams just quietly play 60 minutes and go back into the locker room going, we got a lot to work on. Anyway, appreciate you guys hanging out. We'll catch you guys back here tomorrow. That'll be for Friday's video, more games. And then Saturday and Sunday is where we get the bulk of them. So stick around right here on the Odd Shopper channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Much appreciated. We'll see you back here soon.